Well, John Giandria looks like someone you'd find in a fitness magazine. You'd probably never guess that he had once weighed close to 500 pounds.
Goals. Something that most of us that are obese, have been obese, have no idea what it is. Sometimes I have to go back to remind people, when I started, I was 485 pounds. I was a 52 waist. I was a 4X shirt, sometimes 5, as you guys know, different fits. I could not tie my shoes without being out of breath. I could not go upstairs without wanting to die. A lot of times people forget where they come from, their journey, their hood, being poor, whatever it is. A lot of us try to block that stuff out. One of the things that I've never done, because I have a constant reminder, I have a lot of loose skin. So for me, my constant reminder is every fucking day that I wake up and every day that I go to bed, I see loose skin, but it doesn't bother me. And I've had a lot of people say, well, I don't want to lose weight because I don't want loose skin. So you want to stay fat and probably cut your life expectancy really short in order to not have some loose skin. It just doesn't make sense to me. And people have really commented some dumb shit to me about why they don't want to be fat. It's mind-boggling. So along the way, in creating some ideas, helping people lose weight, you have too many influencers, I hate that word, that say, oh, set your daily goals and take cold showers and do all these things. I'm gonna give you some reality and some truth. Some of your favorite influencers don't have a job. So they're able to get up, make breakfast at 8 or 9, able to take a nap, wake up around 12 if they want, work out when they want, eat when they want, but you don't get all that, right? You just get the edited version of their life and you keep believing, and I'm not gonna name these influencers, I don't want to, but I know a few of them personally, and it drives me fucking bananas because they might have worked or they might be enjoying the fruits of their labor or they're just bullshitting you, but they eat when they want, they exercise when they want. For someone like you, someone like me, that does not apply. A lot of people have a 9-to-5 job, they have children, they have sports practice, they have dance recital, they have all of these things. And a lot of times people have come to me and said, you know what? I eat like shit because I don't have the time. And there's a two-parter to that. Part of it is, yeah, you do have the time. And the other part is, there are some days there is just no time. A lot of people don't want to talk about the single moms that are either working 1 or 2 jobs, or they're taking the bus and they're getting up early to do whatever job they have to because they have mouths to feed. So a lot of times these parents, they don't realize until after the fact that they're hurting their children by feeding them shit. These influencers make you feel like you're not doing a very good job. And it drives me crazy because some of these motherfuckers have money or they're trust fund babies or their mommy and daddy still support them. So you get to go to the gym. You're not having to go to work and you get to eat filet mignon when the other person is trying to buy meat in a tube, okay? And that's what really gets me. And that's part of why coming back to the social media thing, I just get so pissed because I've sat back and I've watched certain people. And what's crazy is they sell you on something that is all bullshit. It's just crap. Some of these influencers sell a protein product, or let me say a nutrition bar that they don't eat. Little side note, grab a protein canister the next time you're at one of these stores, or grab a protein bar and look at the shit in these jars. The canola oil. Canola oil is not a real oil. Do you know the canola fruit that they fucking squeeze and the oil comes out? No. Vegetable oils. Things you can't even pronounce, you're consuming it. Bars that taste so good, they're nothing but chemicals. But yet we run out, we buy it. Now mind you, right? This is coming from somebody that owns a protein supplement. But the difference is mine has 6 natural ingredients. So I don't give a shit about the other people. I know how good my protein tastes, and I know that it's actually beneficial for you because I have the only protein that has as much fiber in it that anybody else in the market does. But I'm not talking about my protein. What I'm talking about is the bullshit that you're fed, and everybody just continues to eat it based on the fact that that motherfucker is ripped, okay? Here's the other part of it. That motherfucker is on steroids. That guy or female, okay, is doing things for their body that eventually will catch up to them. Have you seen all the bodybuilders just dropping dead lately? The drugs have changed. This isn't the 60s, the 70s, the 80s anymore. I'm 45 years old. When I was 20 years old doing steroids, they were way different than they are today. You have female bodybuilders, you have female fitness competitors that are taking Trenbolone, man drugs, straight up just drugs that you should not. For what? A fucking plastic trophy and a couple of 100,000 followers and your bills not being paid? It doesn't make sense. But this is where we place things in our minds of value. We follow these people and we listen to them. But here you go, newsflash. You're never gonna look like them. 485 pounds, I will never look like. I've got a guy in my life that I follow, that I look to for guidance as a coach, as several things. Wes, you know I love you to death. The dude looks amazing, okay? But here's the deal. The dude was in the pen for 10 years. That motherfucker ate and worked out because that's all he did. That's all he could do. He could read and do these things. But in general, okay, they were suited and booted, man. They trained their asses off. So imagine if you worked out all day. Imagine if you went to commissary and you got your meals and that's all you did. You'd probably be in a lot better shape. But we have our freedom, so we're not taking it that strict. So you have people that sell you on something. And one of the things, and I'm not here to plug people, but with Wes, he's as real as they come in the fact of you fucking work out so you're not fat. That's it. He's got his own problems. But we continue to feed into this bullshit of these other influencers for what? We're never gonna look like these people. I was 485 pounds. I can have all the skin cut off me, have a bunch of scars, and guess what? I'm still not gonna have a ton of ab, and I'm not gonna have that because I will always had been fat. I was fucking obese, okay? 485 pounds. I used to do damage on my truck seat because I was so goddamn big, and I slid off that motherfucker. So eventually the left side of my seat was just broken, right? I'd plop down on a couch. You know, people used to always, well, what do you bench, bro? Motherfucker, I bench 485 pounds, or I should say I squat 485 pounds every goddamn day, all day long when I have to stand my fat ass up. So when it comes to goals, we set these unrealistic goals that are so unattainable. So what do? We fucking quit. You're a fucking quitter. I wrote this on my mirror when I really started to want to lose weight. You are a motherfucking quitter. That's what was written on my mirror. It wasn't like you can do this or tomorrow's a new, fuck all that bullshit. That never works. That's why I tell you motivation does not last. I've said it before. You can lose weight for your partner, for someone to look at you, or someone that called you fat. And then guess what happens eventually? That fucking person goes away. So now you're stuck. So then what do? Well, I don't have to do that anymore because they're not looking at me. But this is where we put our value into people. There's a problem with that. So when I talk about attainable, realistic visual goals, here's my visual goal that I had. I would walk out of my house and I would look up the block, and up the block was about 8, 9 houses. When I was 485 pounds, 5 knee surgeries, I've already had shins hurting, right? Your front of your legs blow up and you can't even really walk. Your ankles, your toes, whatever, your joints, because you're fucking fat. I got 2 houses. And it wasn't that I was thinking about the 3rd house. What I was thinking was what if I can't get back home? Now, a lot of people remember, and some of the new people haven't heard this. I used to do this at 4 o'clock in the morning. And do you know why? So motherfuckers wouldn't see the fat guy trying to exercise. Yeah. So when people say, I don't care what people think, I do. I did. I did. I didn't want to be the fat guy that people, because everybody was already laughing at me already, but you know what? It still bugged me, still pissed me off. So I would have a realistic visual goal, 3 house. And I do that for a week, 4 house. And I do that for a week. The stop sign at the end of the block. And the stop sign, let me guess what? This motherfucker went up. I had a hill I had to get up. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna run to the stop sign. If I tried to run to the stop sign, I'd have already been dead. I wouldn't make this fucking video because my fat ass would have been dead, period. So you have to create a visual, realistic goal. Females have always asked me like, well, what's a good goal? What do you want to be a goal? So I always tell people, I use clothing as a visual goal. Go buy something 1, 2 size dresses smaller. If you're an 18, buy a 16. If you're a 16, buy a 14, right? Just do the numbers yourself. And you buy something cheap. Go to Target, go to Walmart, buy a size 10 if you're a 12. Try it on, take a picture of yourself and hate yourself. And keep that fucking dress in the closet that you can see every day when you're putting on your size 12 that you want to be in a size 10. You may even have to take a picture. Now, some people thought I was crazy when I was saying this, but it actually works. It's a reminder. Use it as a screensaver. Because here's the deal. Fat people don't lose weight for their children when they say, I have to be here for my kids. Then why aren't you doing it? Because you're fucking not. And then people are going to say, well, you're being mean. Right, I'm being mean. Absolutely, I'm being mean by saying you're fat and you need to be healthier first. Then your kids come second, or your man or your wife or your partner or whatever the fuck you claim. But the idea is that if you have a goal that you can actually see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, whatever, it makes things easier. Oh no, what do? We go, oh, I'm 485 pounds. I want to look like him. That guy's fucking shredded and he's probably 30 waist. I'll never be a 30 waist. Never. When I'm dead, maybe. My skeleton might have a 30 waist. But overall, I was shooting for a 36. So I went from a 52 to a 50 to a 48 to a 46. I got down to a 36 waist. And you know what? I couldn't visualize that. It just happened because I set myself up for failure. When I started losing all my weight, right, I would go on YouTube and I would look at all these videos and I'm following all these skinny motherfuckers that have never been 5 pounds overweight telling me how I'm gonna lose 200 pounds, right? And what would they do? This is the best part. Go for a run. Motherfucker, I can't even walk, but I'm supposed to go for a run. Kind of like what I just said. How are you gonna love yourself if you don't like yourself? You can't. It doesn't work. So what do? You quit, right? I'm gonna try this diet. I quit. The diet didn't work for me. No, motherfucker, you didn't work for you. That's how this works. So when it comes to goals and you're big, maybe if you're smaller, some people say, oh, you make it just a fat thing. That's what I am, right? I might be smaller now and not 485 pounds, but in here, I am still the same person. I still battle with food. I still want to eat a fucking cookie or McDonald's French fries. I still want to do that. What does that make me? It makes me human. It makes me have to work harder. There are friends of mine that have never been fat. They can eat pizza and McDonald's and everything, and the next day, they're not puffed up, can't get their fucking fingers around their wrist. They're fine. I can't do that. That's just the way I was made. So if I was made that way and I want to be healthy, I have to find a medium. The medium is, right, the middle. The middle is I probably will never have abs. I'm okay with that. But I can see my fucking feet. I can run up a hill. I can go upstairs. I can tie my shoes, okay? And let's just say it. You can see your dick. I'll say it, I don't care. But when you're big and you can't, that might be a goal. I want to see my toes. That's a goal. That's a visual goal. I want to be able to look down and not have to see past my gut. I want to be able to walk around that block. There's a lake outside my house. It's 2.5 miles. One day I want to run around that bitch. I can walk it, I can bike it, but the idea of running that flat, 5 knee surgeries and my size, I'm probably gonna be winded and I probably won't make it the first time. But I know where the little bench to sit by the park is and everything else. I know how far that is. So that's my visual goal. So take something that you can see that's realistic. 1 dress size smaller, 1 pair of pants smaller. Then you put it together. How am I gonna get to that? The problem is we think that we're gonna eat right, we're gonna exercise, and we're gonna do it. You're not. Because the next day that you're so gung-ho, and I know so many of us do this, right? Tomorrow's Monday or tomorrow's Wednesday, right? And we're gonna do it. We're gonna get up, we're gonna eat right, we're gonna exercise, and we're gonna change our lives. And by about 8:01, it all goes to shit. You're late for work, you're pissed off at the world, you haven't had your fucking frappe, mocha, whatever the shit it's called. And what happens? You're buying lunch at some restaurant, and you're buying dinner, and you piss it off. And the next thing you know, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, however fuck long it is, but you were gonna do it. That's the hard reality. Everything is I'm gonna, I wish I would've, I could've. It's all bullshit. You tell yourself these lies just to get by. So if you set a realistic goal in anything, I don't care if it's work, if it's personal, if it's weight, if it's you want to become smarter, I'm going to read a book a little bit more. Nobody reads anymore. It's crazy. I used to love to read, and all of a sudden I stopped reading. Not that I couldn't read. I just got fucking lazy. So now I want to read a book. I want to read a book once a month. So if I read a book once a month, then I can read a little bit more. I don't want to watch TV or check my fucking phone or worry about social media before I go to bed. I want to do something for myself. See, I can see that goal. I can visualize something, but I'm not trying to visualize, oh, I'm going to look like him. You're never going to look like somebody else. Your shell is your fucking shell. And all you can do is make it just a little bit better each day. So set yourself a visual goal. After this video, I want you guys to write to me in the comments, visual goals. I want to see what your visual goal is. I had a client a few years back make this crazy memory board. And it was the coolest thing in the world because it was all realistic stuff, right? I want to be a dress size smaller by the time I ask for my raise so I can tell my boss why I want this raise. Because I'm hungry, because I'm changing my life. I want better. I'm exercising and I'm working on myself. So if I work on myself and I lose weight, I want that motherfucking raise because I deserve it because I'm working harder. She got it. It was one of the coolest things ever because she understood a visualization of a goal. So visualize a realistic goal. Put it in the comments. I want to see what a realistic goal is, and we'll go from there.